So here I've got my Electrolux dryer. It's showing error code E64. I actually hit cancel and was able to start the dryer again, and it did seem to be heating just fine, but when I turn it on again it's showing error E64. That seems to indicate an open circuit on the heating element. I'm going to proceed to take this apart and see if I can diagnose it further, because I don't think that's the case because the heater still works, so we'll have to see. I think I can probably cancel it out and hit start again, and it will, the dryer does start again. So I'm not sure what the problem is. We'll see if I can diagnose it further. Okay, so I've got the dryer all disconnected and turned around here so I can get access to the back. First thing I'm going to do is remove the top panel by taking off these two screws here, right here and right here. Like that, and at that the top panel should slide back and lift right off. Now I'm going to start pulling off some of these screws off the back and see if I can get this back panel removed. If I can get that access to anything here. Basically just removing all the screws around the edge of this thing. Okay, I'm going to continue to remove these couple of screws on the bottom. See if this back panel. Starting to come loose. Oh, there's another screw here. There's actually a couple on the top. So I gotta pull this whole bracket loose here. Looks like you gotta go ahead and pull these out. This bottom one here is the longer one. All the other screws have been the same size so far. Back panel loose. Looks like I'm also going to have to disconnect the wire for power. I'll put those screws right back in. Okay. Actually, I'll remove this whole back panel. Okay, now I'm going to give you a shot inside the back here. It's probably been about a year since I've cleaned this out, so it's pretty dusty in here, but I'll be vacuuming all this out. But there we basically have the blower motor. Here's the exhaust vent, and up over here, that is your heater coil over here. On this side you have a bunch of wires going in. That's the power wires back there, and there's probably also some kind of a thermostat or thermal fuse in case it goes out. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get a voltmeter and I'm going to test the resistance across some of these wires here once I figure out which is which. I've been looking here, most appliances will have a wiring diagram somewhere inside of them so we can figure out what's what. Actually, I was looking back in here. Right here we've got a piece of paper that seems to be some sort of manual or wiring diagram or something. So I'm just going to pop these 2 screws off, get behind that. So I'm just going to take off actually these 2 screws that hold this little metal bracket on here. You don't want to take these off. That'll just get the top of this off. But if you get the one on the metal bracket, then the whole metal bracket will slide off. You should be able to get behind that front panel. So I've got the sheet out. It's actually kind of nice on the front of it. So here's E64 is what I seen. It said heater open circuit, heating element or wiring defective. Check heater coils and connections for open circuits. Replace heater and or wiring and retest. So I found the wiring diagram inside the dryer unit here. And I'll zoom in here on the heater element here. Looks like the black wire comes out one side, and then the 3 heater resistors are 3 silver wires. So I'm going to take my multimeter here and just put it on the continuity check mode here. So if I touch the tips together, it beeps. I'm just going to see if we got any continuity between the 3 silver wires. If you look back here on the heater, you can see the three silver wires back on this side, and then the black wires over on here. So I'm just going to check to see if there's any resistance between any or all those wires. So I'm going to go ahead and probe these wires. Now I got 1 probe on the black wire, and I got basically nothing between those 3. Let's try a different. Yeah, I got no circuit between those, so it is definitely seems to be open circuit on my heater board here. Just for fun, let's try between some of these silver wires. Okay, so I guess I am getting some continuity between 2 of the silver wires, but nothing over to the grounded black side. So what I'm gonna do next is try to take this cover off. Looks like there's a screw right here, and then there's 3 screws inside the drum to get this back air cover off. And there's the 3 screws in the back of the drum here I gotta remove. So I removed this back panel, and I've just disconnected this wire here. Slid it apart right here. I'm gonna set this aside. Now we'll take a look at the heater in here. Heater coil, and actually this thing definitely does not look good to me. Not sure what exactly they're supposed to look like, but as you can see, this one's all bent out of shape. It looks like the metal, looks like this metal thing is actually melted and is shorting out against the thing here, and you can see some of those coils there are all burnt up. Now this dryer is actually only probably 2 years old. Of course, probably just out of warranty, so I guess I'm going to go online and see how much it costs to get a new heating element. Kind of annoying. So basically disconnect all the wires over here, disconnect the ground wire there, and I remove the 2 screws in the base of this and remove this whole heating element. So I got the screws out of the base of this. Now I'm just gonna remove these sensors here. I can't see them. I don't want to mess them up by pulling the wires off, so I'm just going to remove them from the burner here. And then I'll remove the whole burner in a minute. There we have the removed heating element. I've looked online. Looks like I probably just got to remove these brackets to mount it, and I'll be getting a new one and installing it. So now, as long as I've got everything apart here, I'm going to take a vacuum and get all this lint and everything all vacuumed out and get it all cleaned up. I got the new part here. Here's the part number. 134792700 actually at the end of it. As you can see, there's what the new one looks like, nice and straight. And here's the old burnt up one again. That doesn't look so good. So I'll be going ahead and replacing it right now. Alright, I'm going to start by bolting the two sensors in here. This is what the screws look like. Came out of there. It's a single focus. They're basically small pointy ones at the end. The sensors are different size, so they're easy to get in the right holes here. And there we have that. Next, I'll replace these 3 gray wires. Just tell which one goes where by how long they are. Finally, I'm gonna get this black nut down here. Actually, I guess you don't even have to remove this nut. It's got the little connector on here. I just didn't yank it off right off the other one. So put this nut back on. As you can see, there's a little clip there. The other clip I accidentally unbolted, so I'll just pull the old one out with the pliers and clip it back on. Now, actually, before I put that on there, if I get that wire on there, it's going to be too hard, but I'm going to go ahead and bolt this back on the mounting bracket here. Bolt this on before I get it in there. It'll be a lot easier to screw in there. Now I'm going to put it back in there, hook up the black wire, and mount the mounting brackets. Alright, now I'm going to put this back vent on down here. Unless you have a helper to push it on there for you. Push it up here a little higher, there you go. And I'm going to put the screws in on the inside. The longer screw goes into the bottom here to connect it to the heater itself. Yeah, be sure the heater's all the way inside that. And now you want to be sure to hook up the little sensor here again. Okay. Now next we got to put on the back panel. We get this back cover on here, just snaps into place. Over the wires. And then I'll go ahead and put this on. Okay, so I just counted all the screws to make sure I have them all. Putting inside. I'm going to leave the top row, the top three off so I can get this bracket on for now, but I'm going to go ahead and just start putting in the screws around the edge and then come back. This one in the bottom middle here was the one screw that was longer. So actually I'm just going to tack that one in there first so I don't mess it up when I get going here. Okay, so now on this top bracket here, the little tab on each end goes on the outside, but there's this tab in the middle that goes right behind. See how that's going? Behind the back of the back panel there. Okay, so 3 along the back here, and then there's actually 4 screws on the top that I gotta put in. So now I'm going to hook up the power cable here where the cables were and put this cover back on. And now I put the cover back on. Whoop. It's like I'm bleeding. There's a lot of sharp edges on this metal. I'm not sure if you guys removed the wiring diagram from the front, but I'm going to go ahead and put that back in and put the screws back in for that. You always want to make sure you get that put back so that the next poor soul that has to take the thing apart can figure out how it works. I'm just going to get that tape back in here where it came from. Put the 2 screws in here. Alright, and last we have the top panel. It slides on as so. Get lined up in the front, about 1 inch back, and then slide it forward. And there's 2 screws in the back of that. And now finally, last thing to do is to just move the dryer into place and hook it up. Hopefully it'll be running. We'll hook it up and test it out here. Okay, so I've got the thing plugged in again now, all back in place. So here's the moment of truth. We'll see if it actually works. Let's see, we'll fire up a cycle here. Seems to be running. I'm not getting the air code anymore. I'll see if it actually heats and let you know the results. Thanks for watching. This has been how to repair the heating element on your electric dryer. Feel free to check out my other video on how to actually prevent the heater from burning out on this particular dryer. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped.